So how did Zach Wilson play against the Buffalo Bills? The only real way to find out is to watch the tape. And so that's what we're going to do in this video. In my opinion, my general thoughts, he definitely made some mistakes. We're going to talk about kind of some of the issues that definitely still are arising with Zach Wilson and how they definitely have the training wheels on this offense, but also he is doing some nicer things, and there's things that I still have optimism can get better, so let's talk about all of those things. First, this play, it's going to be a zone coverage play, and you have a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Since it's just cover 3 zone, there's only one safety deep. It's Denzel Mims on the outside, and the reason I'm bringing this play up is because I still think, like, man, these plays have to start hitting at some point, right? You just feel like they haven't really been hitting at all in the Zach Wilson era, but he obviously has a good, a good arm. So you feel like eventually they might start hitting. This is an example of how it could potentially hit. Again, single safety deep. Right when this play begins, it's not really going to get open. Wilson's first read was actually towards his left. Maybe he could have thrown kind of a shallower route and gained a couple yards, but, not sure how much that was really going for, so he's going to take a shot down the field. And as you see, this is a, I think it's a good throw. It maybe could have been a little bit, not quite as far, but I think that was a pretty good throw. Denzel Mims almost made a good catch, and it does make you think, man, if they can start hitting these types of plays, the offense will look completely different. I mean, you hit 1 or 2 of those in a game, and it can completely flip how people feel about you. It can turn a game where people think you played not that great into a game where people think you played great, just simply because those plays can give you so many yards on just one pass attempt. However, let's go over to this play now, because while that didn't necessarily work, it can set up other things, such as a play like this. It is going to be a cover 3 zone that the Bills are in, and you see the routes these receivers are running. So again, even if you're not hitting on those deep shots, that's still something you always have to respect as a defense. So the corner who is in that area is still going to respect a potential deep shot. So this time, when Zach Wilson takes the snap and looks towards Garrett Wilson, you see that there's enough space there to still be able to hit this type of play, and it feels like that's really what the Jets have been doing successfully, and what Zach Wilson, for the most part, did successfully in this game was being able to just hit these types of plays. They're not as flashy as if he hit the last play, but you know what? It can still help you get the ball down the field. Wilson makes this the throw, Wilson makes the catch, and then Wilson makes a great move. Obviously, 2 different Wilsons there to pick up a first down. So just a lot of good stuff there by Zach Wilson, good stuff by Garrett Wilson, and this is kind of what the offense is doing effectively when it is doing stuff effectively. Because again, there's some flaws. In fact, let's talk about some of those flaws. Something like this, I think, is definitely when I saw this play, I was ready to say, you know what, this might just be it for Zach Wilson. This might just be the end of the Zach Wilson era, and this play is exactly what happened. So first, let's talk about the play itself. It is a 3rd down and 5 right here. So 3rd down and 5, just on the outside of field goal range. You would obviously love to pick up, if you get a couple yards, maybe it makes it easier on a field goal, but you want to pick up the first down here. That's what you want to do. It's also listed as a 3rd and 5, but it's really closer to like a 3rd and 4, I would say. But again, regardless, what play concept are the Jets running here? It's going to be that, a screen pass to Garrett Wilson, which to me, I just don't know if I love it. I just don't know if I love this call, and it kind of goes to show, in fact, maybe I shouldn't say I don't love this call, but it kind of goes to show they don't trust Zach Wilson that much in this spot. They just don't. And later, they did kind of trust him a little bit, and it worked out. So I think that it's okay to give him a little bit of faith. But early on in the game, it kind of felt like, we just saw what you did last week. We're going to kind of not trust you that much. We're going to instead get the ball out of your hands as quick as possible. Maybe they just like this play, getting the ball to Garrett Wilson. It's a play that can work, so maybe I'm being overly critical on it. However, Zach Wilson takes the snap. He, sidearms it to Garrett Wilson. I mean, also, Zach Wilson sidearming a ton of throws in this game. He looked like Chad Bradford out there with how, many unique arm angles he was throwing the ball to, but still, it's kind of one of those plays when that play doesn't work out, it makes you think, man, we really didn't get a shot to get the first down there, it almost feels like. And again, they did. Had maybe that been run a little bit better, there was a better chance it could have worked out, but, that was a tough one. Zach Wilson got banged up on that play too, and so I was kind of thinking like, oh man, is this it for Zach Wilson? Is that all she wrote? That's going to be how his career ends? Well, no, that was maybe a bit of an overreaction when I was watching the game live, because I did think that he came around and played much better, with some of those plays I showed you earlier. There still were some more negatives like this one where, and again, I'm about to get to another positive and kind of my general thoughts on why I thought he played well just a little bit later. But something like this, you see Zach Wilson, it's a one-on-one matchup. These are the kind of plays that you do want to hit on. It's, again, a third down. You have to get just inside the 40-yard line right here. The matchup you see on the screen, that route, that's a good route against this concept. And look at how, when this play begins, I mean, you could argue that there was actually even offensive pass interference right there, but it does not get called. So Denzel Mims, it's once again Mims, has a chance to make this play. But Zach Wilson's throw is going to be a bit high, and also Mims probably needs to come down with that. So it's kind of similar to that first play, where it's like, man, if they could just start hitting on some of these plays more consistently, it does feel like the Jets' offense could be a lot better. So, again, the weirdest thing about Zach Wilson is it seems like the throws he has the most difficulty towards tend to be the easier ones. Improves a lot, though, in that area in this season, I would say. Again, last week was kind of an anomaly, I think, for how he's played this year. He still hasn't been great this year, but he hasn't been atrocious like he was last year. And he's doing some nice things like this play, where the one saving grace that he has this year that's really helped him out as opposed to last year is Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, who I'm probably going to make an entire video just on Garrett Wilson himself and what he's done to this Jets offense, because he has done a ton. He has played very well for them. But it's stuff like this that the Jets are really missing, where it's a one-on-one matchup with Garrett Wilson. It's a one-on-one matchup with everybody. This is a cover one blitz. So if you run deep down the field, then there is a safety who can get over and try to make a play. So that's kind of the one thing one issue. But other than that, basically everyone has a one-on-one matchup. So this is a good throwing situation. And that's part of probably why the Buffalo Bills are running this concept, is because they almost want the Jets to throw the ball. I don't know how much faith they had in the Jets beating them. But honestly, it's more difficult to do this than it was last year because of Garrett Wilson. So watch what he's going to do. I mean, first off, this is just an incredible release by Garrett Wilson. I mean, look at that move to get himself wide open. So now for Zach Wilson, some people might say, well, he's not making a difficult throw here. Well, that's the whole point. Most quarterbacks that are good quarterbacks don't have to make difficult throws consistently. Most guys have openings. I mean, you look at the guys who are at the top of the league in passer rating. I mean, you got like Geno Smith, Tua, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. All those guys will have receivers get relatively wide open. Not to say to have it happen on every play, and those guys all in different ways will find ways to add value beyond what the receivers are doing, but you still have these opportunities, and for a quarterback, you want them to be able to take advantage of it. Zach Wilson made the right read to get it over to Garrett Wilson and make the throw. Again, that's a pre-snap read in a lot of ways. It's just him reading before the play, hey, this is probably where I should throw the football to. It absolutely worked out, and they were able to pick up a first down there on a second down. So these are the kind of things that you're wanting to see more of from Zach Wilson, and we're seeing a bit more of. Again, it's baby steps, right? I do think it's fair to say, like, this guy has not come into the league and been a superstar, but the nice thing is that the Jets are a really good team, and they don't need him to be a superstar right now. Has Justin Fields looked better than Zach Wilson these past few weeks? There's no question he absolutely has. But Justin Fields is also the entire Bears team, and that's all they're focused on. For Zach Wilson, it's a different assignment for him. The Jets right now aren't just trying to see what they can get out of Zach Wilson. They're trying to see what they can get out of this football team. In fact, I think they believe they can really go places this year, and why not? They just beat the team that was, pretty universally number one on everyone's power rankings. So because of that, this is a Jets team that definitely, they feel good about themselves, and Zach Wilson feels good about himself and what he's doing, because he is getting better. At least I would assume that's how he feels. What do you guys feel? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.